all you Gridiron fanatics out there. Glad you're here with us on Gridiron Gab Pro Style, where we gab about all things pro football, from the scoops of the regular season to the scores in the postseason and the picks of the off season. Let's start gabbing. Welcome back, all you Gridiron fanatics out there. I am Mr. CeeLo, here trying to catch you up on all the stories and the hottest takes and the hottest news on the gridiron. Of course, most of you know that Dalvin Cook is visiting the New York Jets today. I'm sure you all know this. But that's actually not the biggest story right now. It is the big story that we're talking about here, but we'll get into another big story. All of you guys heard about Jonathan Taylor, and I will be getting it. But right now, Dalvin Cook has the ability to change the whole landscape, AFC East, excuse me. Because as I said just a second ago, he is in New York visiting with the Jets, and he's actually taking up a practice from what I'm hearing. What's really interesting about this story is that Dalvin Cook, when he first got released, there was a lot of talk that he was going to be a Dolphin. Well, really there was no talks that kind of materialized. The Dolphins that really make an overture to him. And all of a sudden, we fast forward a couple of weeks, the Jets get Aaron Rodgers. We find out that story. And all of a sudden, the story comes out that the Jets are actually moving towards bringing him in. And, of course, everybody knows the story with Breece Hall. He tore his ACL, and that was not a good situation. As you can look at the record, they were 5-2 with him. And this guy was a rookie. Not saying he's not a good back. He's going to be a great running back. But as far as the way the market goes, we'll talk about that in the Jonathan Taylor video. But looking at the Dalvin Cook situation right now, it's looking as though they have the inside track on everybody. Whereas the Dolphins can look back at this, and if they're successful, meaning the Jets, they're going to look back at this and they're going to wonder, did we make a mistake by not adding this guy? And I would venture to say, yes, they would. They would, because as we will get into it shortly, what does Dalvin Cook bring to the table? He brings a lot to the table. And with a guy that Aaron Rodgers played with, in Aaron Jones, who was a multi-purpose back, he really gets underappreciated for his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, that being Aaron Jones. Dalvin Cook does that very well. He's underrated too. He's considered a dual back, but I think that's really what got lost in the Minnesota, allowing this guy to walk. You know, we can sit here and we can look at what Dalvin Cook was to the Minnesota Vikings. He was such a dual threat guy that you couldn't just try to stop him running the football. And this is what I think makes him such a good, almost perfect fit for the New York Jets, because what Aaron Rodgers likes to do, he likes to do a lot of checkdowns. And a lot of your great Hall of Fame quarterbacks like to do is check down the ball to a running back and get him the ball in space, a.k.a. get the ball into the hands of your playmakers by any way possible. As we look at what Dalvin Cook is going to bring to the table if he becomes a Jet, this is a guy that has done such a phenomenal job when you look at his numbers. It's overly impressive, because you look at a guy that is touching the ball anywhere from 300 times to 350 times a season. When we look at 2017, he only had 74 injury, but then you look at 2018, 2020, 2021, and 2022, he had over 1,100 yards every season. And then let's throw in the fact that this guy had 53 grabs, arguably his best season as a receiver. But then in between those seasons, let's look at he got utilized. He was utilized less and less and less after 2021, of course, because of Justin Jefferson getting there and having his emergence, if you will, and Kirk Cousins not utilizing him as efficiently as I would say he should have. Because Dalvin Cook's just a talent in itself. He's in that level with Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, and so many of those great running backs. Even Jonathan Taylor, you can arguably throw him in there. But talking about Dalvin Cook and this, but he is going to be the guy that is going to shake the landscape of the AFC East. I'm telling you, this guy right here, if he signs with the Jets, Buffalo better look out, because this offense is going to be great. Now, people are going to say, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the guy that as he's playing like he played in Green Bay." I'm subtracting what he had in Green Bay because he didn't go to training camp last year. He is actually at training camp this year. Aaron wants to make a go at this and win a ring. Okay, he's had some serious attitude issues, some ego things that he's fought with, but this year he's making it about victory. He's making it about wanting to win. He's even to the point where he's saying, "Hey, go get this guy. Go get this guy. Bring this guy in." And honestly, they're going to have to do that because we're not sure of the extent of Garrett Wilson's injury. Yeah, that broke yesterday. So, as I said, looking at these numbers, you're talking about a guy that goes anywhere from 1,400 to 1,500 yards combined a season. These are almost Jonathan Taylor-like numbers. So for a guy like this to be available, he has the ability to change the landscape of the East all by himself. Whether he chooses the Jets, turns them down, and takes the Patriots offer, the Patriots in on this again, as well as going with his initial want, which is Miami. Now, from the Mr. CeeLo perspective, I believe the best situation for him to go or to be in is number-wise is going to be Miami. And the reason why I say that is because of all the speed that they have, and Tua's wanting this to throw the ball short when he gets in trouble. And Dalvin Cook is one of those running backs. He finds a way to be in the right position where his quarterback needs him to be. He could end up catching 100 balls in Miami. Now, on the flip side, let's look at the Jets situation. They have no Garrett Wilson. I'm not sure if Nathaniel Hackett, and I'm not going to get into that whole Sean Payton thing because, listen, Hackett didn't cut it as a head coach. That's simple. But to say this guy can't be an offensive coordinator, he didn't get where he is by being garbage. But I believe Nathaniel Hackett will be able to send this guy, in being Dalvin Cook, in situations to get him the ball. They've got some playmakers, but here's the reality. I did not like the fact that the Jets got rid of two of their pretty good receivers. Denzel Mims was just, to me, that was just, you don't do that. I don't know. I believe they still have Corey Davis, but I don't know if Corey Davis... I don't know. I don't know what to say about Corey Davis. He had a couple of good games with Zach Wilson, and then it was just kind of like injuries, and then inconsistency kind of hurt him. I truly believe that if his best set is going to be Miami. And then, of course, we got New England sitting in the woodworks. And I'm not really feeling New England either. But I will say this. I will put this out there. That you can put Dalvin Cook in New England's offense, and it would make it better, but he would catch more balls than he actually probably would carry the ball because Mac Jones he still does not have the NFL figured out. I don't care what anybody says. He was overrated coming out of Alabama. I said this, maybe not on the channel, but I said this. And I believe Dalvin Cook would catch right at 100 balls just like he would in Miami. And he would not necessarily, I don't want to say he would share the backfield, with Ramondre Stevenson and Ty Montgomery, but I would say, to me, Ramondre Stevenson is a guy that he's your backup. He's going to be the guy you bring in the fourth quarter when you've worn down a defense. I would believe Dalvin Cook would be the guy that you go at when he would be my starter if New England, were to acquire him. But I'm also hearing Zeke Elliott is in that mix too. But I believe Dalvin Cook is the guy that could change the whole complexity of this entire AFC East if he signs, well, wherever he signs. I'm almost certain he's signing in the AFC East. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Miami's going to kick themselves because they have not given a real push to him. New England's showing, kind of sitting there in the brush, waiting to see what happens here. My sources were telling me, and my gut is telling me that the Jets are going to. He's not going to leave New York without a deal. He may leave without a deal, but I don't think New York and Aaron Rodgers are going to let him. He's from what I'm seeing, he's working out there, and I think he likes the camaraderie there that Aaron Rodgers has brought, the leadership, and even the coaching staff and certain players that are there. I think he ends up signing here, and it's going to be a good move for him. All I can say is I'm happy for Dalvin Cook. I think he's going to make a big deal, and for what he's going to bring. Now, to what he's going to do, and it's not just by himself, but I think the signing of him is going to give the luxury of the Jets to be able to bring Breece Hall back slowly. It's going to be big time for these guys later on in the season when they're going to be able to have this 1-2 punch with these guys. Because Michael Carter's a good running back, but he's no Breece Hall and he's no Dalvin Cook. For this team to have the defense that they have, they needed someone. Cook. I foresee him being a Jet. He wants to be in Miami. He wanted to be in Miami, but now it's leaning more towards he's going to be in the Big Apple. And with that being said, New York. You got 2 top running backs. Giants, you need to sign him to some money. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think. I truly believe that he's going to be a Jet. He's embracing things, and I think the Jets put that out there. I think the Jets finished with 11 wins this year. Let me guys know what you think. Go to the Facebook page at Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you guys can do, what I can do to make things better. One other thing, I wanted to share something. Jackson says that Cincinnati Bengals did not have any reason to have Joe Burrow out there for the first day of practice. What are they trying to do? Ruin their Super Bowl chances? In response to that, Jackson, the Cincinnati Bengals are trying to win a championship. All due respect, first and foremost. Joe Burrow is a winner. He wants to win. And he still has not had a full training camp with the Bengals. And that's got to be very hard for this guy. A guy that wants to get out there and get that camaraderie with his teammates. And as I said before, it's not easy when you come back and you're rusty. But I do agree to somewhat. If he was hurting, the coach staff has to step in there and tell him, look, Joe, just relax, bro. Just relax. And I understand he probably thought that it wasn't going to be that bad. But when you're out there, you're competitive, you think you're not thinking about you got a bad will. You're just going at it. You're trying to play the best at your ability, but you don't realize that you're pushing it beyond what you initially wanted to push it beyond. So I'm not saying that the Bengals are responsible, but I think for future reference, and this goes for any team, if you got a guy coming out there and he's got a compression sleeve on any part of his body, or he's got anything that's an ailment, you sit him down, or you remove him from any type of activity that is going to put him in jeopardy. With that being said, I'm about to get out of here. Guys, go to my Facebook pages for Growlin' and Prowlin'. If you're a Carolina Panther fan, get all things Carolina Panthers if you want, as well as going to Gridiron Gab Pro Styles Facebook page, as well if you get all the news from the NFL, breaking news and so on and so forth. As well as, if you're a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan, go to Talk Like a Champion and check us out over there. Anything Notre Dame, all things Notre Dame. And coming soon is going to be my collegiate channel, where we talk all things college football, Gridiron Gab, triple option. But until next time, same Gab channel, same Gab platform.